not capturing. Why is it not capturing? Ah! Oh, okay, now it is. It took a second. Anyway. Usually it loads right away. But, we're back to Lucid9. Where were we last time? I guess we were meeting some of our friends at, GFC? Fried chicken? Where was that? Over here. And I guess, what happened before that? Let me try to remember, since this was a week ago. I guess we had like a weird hallucination, you know, because we thought Ryu was like kidnapped and possibly murdered and all that fun stuff. And I really thought the murder mystery would start then, but I guess not. Turns out nothing happened to Ryu. We just ran to a forest and had a crazy drug trip, I guess. Or, well, we didn't do drugs, but I guess we just went a little crazy. But then we walked back, and I guess the screenshot here shows, was there Misaki, right? We went to a commercial shoot with Misaki, and we kissed, but not really. Like a fake kiss. And I guess, yeah, we were called to a fast food restaurant that sells chicken, because we're gonna hang out with our friends once more. And I guess supposedly, again, I don't know if it is a murder mystery, but I assume there will be, is it's pushed back to the back, or, well, it's in the back burner, apparently. Behind the scenes murder mystery. Well, anyway. Let's just continue. After a couple minutes of uneventful walking, I reached the familiar ambience of the local General Fried Chicken. Yahiko cheerily waves me over, brandishing a formidable drumstick in his hand. It will be here if the artist drew it, but I guess that would cost extra money. I settle next to him, keeping my eyes off Ryui for some reason. Just looking at her brings back a flood of negative emotions. Yeah, because we had a really weird trip in a forest because of her. Well, I mean, not literally because of her, but like indirectly. We assume that she was kidnapped or something. Good of you to join us, minion. What took you so long? My insides burn with anger, but I keep my gaze on the table, taking a moment to steady my voice before I answer. I was busy. Will you run? Are you back in the track? No thanks. Oh, I know. You were practicing for my lessons, weren't you? Sly move, my good minion. Did you woo any ladies? Well, technically, yeah, we did. We had a moment with Misaki, I guess. I don't miss the flash of pain that crosses Ryui's eyes. I'm stricken with a twinge of guilt, but I shove it away. Wait, really? Damn, our boy's growing up. I don't know, she hasn't responded yet. The lie passes smoothly from my lips. Yeah, I was wondering, actually, yeah, he was flirting with someone, I guess? That's the implication, but I guess, yeah, we're just lying, I don't know. I grab a piece of chicken to quell the nausea in my stomach as Ryui quickly straightens, absently playing with her hair. Well, that probably means she isn't into you. Figures. I have no clue who'd be interested in Yama. Well, how many girls are in this game? Pretty much all the girls are interested in Yama. All the ones that are drawn, anyway. I tighten my grip on the table with my free hand, fighting to stay calm. Or at least, well, I don't know. Maybe not like literally they're all interested, but they're all like heroines, right? So they're possibly interested in Yama. Well, maybe. There's no reason for a girl to wait if she's interested, right? Ryui? Right. If she liked me, she would have told me right away. Yeah, exactly. Damn. I'm a jerk. Yes, you are, Yama. I angrily tear into the chicken, biting with such force that my jaw aches, Yahiko stares between me and Ryui, concern lining his brow. Are you two okay? Uh-huh, I'm fine. Kind of feels like you two got in a fight. Well, what happened last time with us? I guess... Well, before she said like she was absent in the morning. Before that, I guess she kissed us on the cheek in the amusement park. I guess that also made things kind of weird. We haven't. She says this hesitantly. I know she herself doesn't know why my mood is so terrible. Honestly, I have no one to blame but myself. I thought I had given myself enough time to calm down from that forest episode, but apparently it wasn't enough. Oh, I guess, yeah, Yama's still frustrated from his old goose chase. And now, I'm taking it out on the only 3 people in the world I can call my friends. Dude, we can't help you if you don't know we don't know what's wrong. I almost jump at how serious his voice is. I know, I brought a terrible mood into this place. I need to shake it off. The time of the forest is completely over. My only task for the day is having fun with my friends, and fun doesn't come with a sour attitude. I'm sorry, I heard a pretty creepy story this morning, so I'm a bit on edge. That's pretty much the whole story when I boil it down. It sounds pretty pathetic. A creepy story? She shoots me a concerned glance, which I honestly deserve. I'm not exactly known for being gullible or superstitious after all. I shake my head at her, which Masato seems to take as guilt. Don't worry about it, man. We all got our off days. Thanks. Oh, if we're talking about creepy stories, I have a great one to tell. It's an urban legend that's been around the academy for forever. It's called The Vanishing Janitor. What kind of dumb name is that? Well, you know how we don't have after-school cleanup, right? Oh yeah, because this school costs us an arm and a leg to attend, especially without scholarships. And yeah, well, it's kind of like a bit of a context, or a cultural context here that I'll give, is that usually in Japanese high schools, or I mean schools in general, students like clean up after themselves, right? So instead of like a janitor in Japan, usually some of the students in the class are assigned cleaning duties after class. You know, that's usually the norm. But I guess, yeah, in this academy that we're attending, it's a private, rich people academy, so I guess they don't do that. Well, everyone knows that we have a janitor. We see him collecting garbage, bagging it up, and stacking it in the cart. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I have to remind Yahiko that we had a janitor? Guess his observation skills have finally leveled up. Yeah, got enough experience points. But have you noticed that the janitor never actually walks out the gate? Well, of course not. It's a visual eyesore that would be damaging to the school's image. Well, that's discriminatory. What's wrong with being a janitor? It's a job like any other. But, well, I guess rich people be snobby about that kind of thing. Then, good minion, my question to you is this. Where does that trash go? Now that he mentions it, it is pretty odd. Oh, I see what you're saying. The dumpster is outside of the school by the street, near the back of the campus. And the front gate is allegedly the only way to enter or exit the school. It's why the academy is considered to be so safe. Well, I mean, not so safe now because people are disappearing. And yeah, gate is the only way to enter or exit. That actually might be a clue, you know? Anyway. But that janitor don't take the junk out of the gate, which he'd have to in order to reach the dumpster. And that is our predicament. Interesting, very interesting. I wonder what the explanation could be. Of course, I have my own theory, which is The janitor actually has the ability to travel to another dimension. He takes all our trash to the land of missing socks. You know how you do a closed cycle of laundry with a certain number of pairs of socks, but you always come out with one extra sock? It's because one of them spun so fast and vanished to this other dimension. There are little worm holes here and there, too, like under the bed or couch or behind the laundry machine. It's why they spontaneously disappear, only to reappear again. So that's where the janitor takes the trash, the same dimension where there are missing socks. Well, if this was a sci-fi visual novel, that might hold some water, Yahiko. That is simultaneously the most brilliant and most stupid idea I've ever heard from you. I agree with that. You lost me at dimension, man. Your plebeian mind simply can't comprehend my sheer intellect. It's sheer, alright, but not in the sense you're thinking. Well, now that Yahiko's finished with his conspiracy theory, what do you guys want to do for the rest of the day? That's not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact. How about we head into town? Town? You mean District 8? Yeah, ain't that where all the lively stuff happens? It's the most affluent district in Izumo, so there's definitely a lot of flourishing commerce and technology, but usually every recreational activity comes with a heavy price tag. So District 8. Wasn't it like District 6 was the poorest area in Izumo, and I guess District 8 is the most richest, most wealthy. I guess, yeah. Think of anything in particular? No. If something catches our interest, we should check it out. Normal day of just kicking back? It does feel like it's been a while since we've hung out together. Even going to the amusement park yesterday was, in some ways, more tiring than relaxing. Or even going to the amusement park yesterday was, in some ways, more tiring than relaxing. I'm down. That sounds like fun. Well, we finish up the chicken and head to the subway. It's less crowded than usual, probably because today is technically a weekend. Like all other Izumo subways, the platform is immaculate. There's no sign of dust, much less any scrap of trash. Quality public transportation seems to be a big boasting point of the city, and I guess, well, in Japan in general, right? There's hardly a whisper of sound as the doors seamlessly slide open, or as the subs barrel down the rails, solidifying the care crafted into the station. We board the next train to District 8, an affluent street with skyscrapers that seem to fade into the clouds. It's packed at this time of day, sidewalks full of rich housewives and groups of teens on shopping trips. The bright lights of store displays shine with deceptive welcome, as if the workers care about something other than the wallet size of their customers. Oh. Just down the street, I noticed a familiar mop of red hair in front of a large gaming store. Oh, isn't that Irie? I peer over the crowd of heads to the other side of the street. Yep, it's definitely Irie, staring emptily through the glass display without a care in the world. Oh yeah, the little one. Maybe we should invite her to hang out with us. Are you kidding? Her? Oh, calm down. What could she possibly do to you? Well, clearly, there's something wrong with her. She didn't fall for my irresistible charm. Uh-huh. But it gets even better. I did a little digging, and it turns out that anyone who talks to her mysteriously goes missing the next day. Does that have any connections to these patterns of disappearances that we've investigated before? Really? Oh, give me a break. Yama and I talked to her 2 days ago, and we're still around. Does that mean we're gonna get kidnapped? I don't know. Give it time. This is ridiculous. Yama, we should invite her, right? Of course. Also, if we do get kidnapped, Wouldn't that be interesting? Sure. What? How could you betray me like this? No thanks. Okay, go get her. Me? Who else? I'm about to protest, but Ryui shoves me in the street the moment the light turns green. Hey! Go! Sighing, I plod across the street, weaving my way through the crowd until I've reached the gaming store. At a closer glance, I realize that Irie isn't blankly looking at the store, she's smiling, purely, lightly, with a genuine sparkle to her eyes. I almost feel like I'm interrupting something important. Hi. Irie turns to me, her expression openly curious. Fancy meeting you here, at this place. ... In a public street, in front of a game store. On the weekend, actually. It's not very unusual, is it? Again, no response. It'd be easier to get a reaction out of a brick wall. So, what kind of game are you interested in? Kirby? Polymon? Kirby and Pokemon? Is that what you're trying to say? Irie only smiles and points to a far corner of the store. A twisted poster of terrifyingly grotesque zombies rise from the fog of the special Left Alive display. Left Alive? Or Left 4 Dead is what you mean? Wait, what? Left Alive? Yes. I rack my brain as to why a cute, frail, lowly girl would be interested in such a horrific game. It's called Contrast, Yama. It's a fundamental writing technique where you make the characters seem the opposite of what they seem to be or appear to be, to make their personality more interesting. You're like Left Alive? You can save creatures from their miserable lives. So do you like Summon Allegiance? Nimbus? Those kinds of shooters? Summon Allegiance and Nimbus. I don't recognize what these are supposed to be the spoof of. Or if they're real games, actually, I don't know. Nimbus? Summon Allegiance? I don't know, I don't... Yeah, I'm trying to... I mean, I played a lot of video games, but sometimes it's hard to tell. Nimbus. The first thing that comes to mind for Nimbus is Dragon Ball Z. Because the little cloud that Goku summons. That doesn't actually last very long. He, like, abandons it very early on in the series. Though I guess Gohan has some use for it anyway. No. Well, what other games do you like? Fugue? 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 Wait, the survival horror game that gave Yahiko nightmares for 2 months? Fugue. Survival horror. You mean Fugue, the Fall of Shadows? Is that also a reference to something? I can't tell. Because when I think of survival horror, I think Resident Evil, Silent Hill. What else? Trying to think of it. What was that? What's that GameCube game that had like weird sanity effects? I can't remember. There's a name for that. No, anyway. Yes, she loves survival horror. Well, do you like the adrenaline rush? I don't play it for fun. You don't play video games for fun? Then why do you play it? It's educational. Educational? I have a bad feeling about this. How is it educational? It shows me how I would never want to die. She says with a slight smile. Something about the way she says that is terribly ominous, or ominous. Ominous! Ominous. Almost like a girl who's planning her funeral before her wedding. I see. We fall into short silence as my mind goes blank. I don't even remember what I was supposed to be doing. What games do you like? Me, anything with a good story, I guess. such as visual novels. Like this game. Oh, well, yeah. Visual novels? Sure. What kind? From what I've played, Unright, I guess. Destiny Departure Dawn was long but good, and Kenpeki Shonen, I guess. I think are these more spoofs on other visual novels? I haven't played. Well, I say I like visual novels, but I haven't really played a lot of the main series, or rather not main series, but like what do you call them? Like, I guess mainstream, but I guess well, visual novels are kind of niche, even on the even the genre itself is kind of niche. So, but yeah, I never played like the really big ones. I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? I like the style, but I just haven't, you know. For example, like Fate Stay Night, right? That's a big visual novel that I haven't went through yet, but I might in the future. I'm thinking of streaming that game sometime, but anyway. Great. Way to sound certain. Irie's gaze drifts off into the distance. I can't tell if she's thoughtful or bored. Maybe talking about visual novels bore her. What was I supposed to be talking about again? Gosh, you take forever. Oh, here they come. Riwi pops up next to me, almost as if out of nowhere. Oh, so did you. Me? Crossing the street. I was giving you time to invite her, you idiot. You baka. Oh, right. Hanging out with us. You wanna join us? We're gonna do something fun. Probably. That sounded really creepy. What? We don't actually know what we're doing? Well, how about this? He points to an advertisement in the corner of the shop display. Café de la Pag. Karaoke now open for business. Interesting. I remember that Café de la Paix, or Pape, I don't know, has another branch in this district, but I never expected it to open for karaoke. Well, karaoke sounds fun. Nothing like belching your lungs out after a day of running. My ideas are always the best. Irie, wanna come with us? Please, it'd be more fun if I wasn't the only girl. Yeah, it'd be nice to have an actual girl around. Yeah, it would. Yama tries the best he can, but he just doesn't cut it. He just doesn't pass. Too bad for him. Anyway, this seems to even amuse Irie, whose mouth tweaks upward in the barest facsimile, right? Facsimile of a smile. However, I see her eyes narrow a little, still processing my question. Karaoke? Yeah, just some friendly competition to show off our voices. Not that you'll have much competition in the ladies' division. Yama, don't beat yourself up. Your voice isn't that bad. Did I seriously walk into that joke twice? I'm losing my edge. However, it elicits its intended effect. Irie finally shares her gaze with us again, and her smile returns. Very well. Really? Great! She eagerly pulls Irie along as Masato bolts down the street with renewed vigor. I notice that Yahiko follows at a cautious distance, uncertainty in his eyes. Yahiko's not really much of a fan of Irie. Oh, and the cafe. This is the same place where we met with the what was it? The class rep, or what's her name? I always forget names. You know, I'm really bad with names. You know, in real life as well as fictional, unfortunately. But yeah, it's where that girl worked, because like she probably has this sad backstory where her family isn't all that rich, you know, as we thought, you know, as it seemed to be. Or well, I don't know, actually I'm thinking, because either she's working as a waitress because, you know, her family doesn't actually have a bunch of money, or that she herself doesn't have a lot of money, right? Her family doesn't just give her like everything that she wants, right? Despite being in a rich family, maybe. Well, I don't know. Anyway. Entering the cafe brings a sharp sense of deja vu, with the notable exception that there's no uptight British cashier at the counter. Well, actually, well, yeah, she was a cashier, not a waitress, I guess. Well, it's kind of like blurring the line here. When we inquire into karaoke, we're shown to a small yet comfortable back room with clean wooden panels and velvet carpeting. It feels less like a cheap room for belting discordant tunes and more like a miniature stage at a theater. Okay, clock's ticking, so I ain't spending much time on explaining. We'll choose one song, except the judge. Who's the judge? I volunteer. What? Hell no! Yeah, you're not getting away that easily. And I ain't saying, well, my rival to rival. Better pick my words carefully here, or I'll have to actually sing. We are rivaling. Or rivaling. Is that a word? Rivaling? Anyway. Your skill as a contestant versus my skill as a judge. Nani? Oh, okay. Wait, what? Are you serious? But I want to hear him fail. Look, we gotta get this competition underway, so I'm moving on. Yeah, I'm the judge. We all sing a song. That seems simple enough. But wait, there's a catch. You gotta sing the song that the person on your right chooses. Now this means that Masato would choose a song for Airi, Airi for Yahiko, Yahiko for Ryui, and Ri for Masato. Oh boy, this matchup is going to yield some interesting results. Okay, time to choose. Masato passes around a small tablet, and each person takes their time selecting a song. I wonder what they're gonna choose. Knowing Yahiko and Masato, I'm sure they'll pick something weird. But what about Airi and Ryui? Finally, they all seem satisfied with their choices and settle onto the couch. I clear my throat, dramatically tapping a finger against my armrest. So, who's first? No response. I guess I'll go. Brave soul. She walks up to the miniature stage where the microphone is set up. You better not have chosen something weird, Yahiko. Don't worry, I chose the opening to my favorite anime! Yeah! Wait, was it his favorite anime? Super Heart Magical Girl Lyrico-chan! Isn't that a reference to, was it? What was it? Nanaho? Right? Naho? I never actually watched the anime, but I've heard good things about it. Nanaho, right? The magical girl anime. Mahou shoujo. Ryu pales as I struggle to hold back my laughter. Good luck, Ryui. By which I mean, this will be hilarious. This song is called Lovey Dovey Magical Heart Prism. She must regret going first. Ryui timidly touches the screen to start the song. An energetic, bouncy tune begins to play, accompanied by Yahiko enthusiastically bobbing his head. You know, I didn't actually, well, I mean, I was pretty neutral with Yahiko. He seems like a kind of a rude person at times, especially towards his flirting targets, but the fact that he has good taste has upped the scale of me liking Yahiko as a character. Anyway. Love is a friendship, love is magic, love is... Oh god, her high-pitched voice combined with off-key vocals pound my eardrums mercilessly. I got those... Actually, well, I mean, you never know what exactly kind of voice you give the characters when they don't actually have any voice acting to them. You know, innate voice acting. So I don't know what her voice will sound like. I just gave her the nasally voice, I guess, but I guess her voice is more like a high-pitched... I don't know, I can't really do it. Like high-pitched voice? High-pitched voice? High-pitched voice? Ah! Like your typical Japanese waifu that has a high-pitched voice. I guess. Well, whatever. I'll just continue giving her the nasally voice. Because I don't know why. Well, I don't know. Because I don't have a lot of diversity when it comes to voices, so I just give some characters a nasally one. Love is everything, sugar and spice and everything nice. Is that Powerpuff Girls reference? I love you forever and a day, forever and a month. Yeah. I love you forever and a year. Ashiteru! She curls into a little ball on the stage as the song finally comes to a close. Is it over? Is it? Yes, it's over. I'm free. We manage to clap politely as Ryui descends from the stage, her knuckles white from gripping the microphone. So, how was it? I have to choose my words wisely here. It was, colorful. Yep, it had personality and depth. An original performance. Original in more ways than one. Well, thankfully the others nod with me in agreement. Ryui smiles at my vague compliment. Well, thanks guys. Masato, are you going next? Yep, lay it on me, Ryui. What did you choose? I don't know. I picked a random song. I wonder how this turned out. My song is called... He immediately expels a stream of vulgar words into the atmosphere. I didn't even know so many inappropriate terms could fit into a song title. I take a quick peek outside to make sure there aren't any little kids around. Okay guys, you ready? No, I'm not. Here we go! I've never heard so many expletives sung in rapid succession like that in my entire life. The look on Ryu's face makes it seem like she's been scarred. Even Airi's eyes widen throughout the performance. A very educational experience. Well, thankfully, the song is even shorter than the lovely Dovey Magical Heart Prism, or Misery is short-lived. Oh, that was awesome! Well, thanks, man. What did you guys think? He looks expectantly around the room, but Ryu and I fix our gazes on the floor. Well, I shouldn't have picked a song at random. An awkward silence pervades the room. Well, I wonder what those expletives are. Is it just a bunch of swear words? And I assume like a rap song or something. Usually, that's how it turns out. When I think of like swearing in a song, I think of rap. So I don't know. I guess it's my turn. She walks to the microphone with a dispassionate expression. She doesn't seem to be even slightly embarrassed, which I find surprising. I should be honored. This is a good song. Oh please, don't let this one be as bad as the last. Airi gives the screen a brief glance, but shows no reaction at the title she sees. She only picks up the microphone and immediately starts the song. A rather lively ensemble of drums, bass, and guitars play, characteristic of rock and roll. Airi grips the microphone with the charisma of a professional. She taps her right foot to the beat of the drums, and when the lyrics pop up on the screen, she puts her lips close to the microphone. This is a rock song, or because I'm just hearing a music box is the thing. So I guess this might not be the actual song. Oh, this is a rock song. It's like, you're from Mars and I'm from Earth, and you were birthed in the hero's birth. I guess something like that. This is doesn't sound like a rock song though. How would a rock song sound? I don't know the melody, so. You're from Mars and I'm from Earth. You were birthed in the hero's birth. Birthed twice. Birth. What the? Am I hallucinating? Is this beautiful voice really Iris? I guess she's good at singing. Whereas I, just born as little old me, in a small town, normal as could be. Wow, she's actually great. No, better than great, she's amazing. You are hot, and I am cold, and neither of us do what we're told. I can feel the powerful emotion coming from her angelic voice. It's like she was the original singer. And I've heard, actually, this game is actually gonna get like voice acting maybe in the future, as that's what I've heard anyway, or what I've read rather. So maybe this song will actually be a thing that will be sung. Because right now, again, doesn't sound like rock and roll. Because I mean, rock and roll, where's the electric guitar? I just hear the music box. Or is it a music box? I don't know. I guess it is. But don't you see that this could be a sign? Her dance movements are perfectly synchronized with the lyrics. I feel as though I'm attending an actual concert. That we were meant to be. I guess, I don't know. I'm just making up the melody. I guess the melody, well, I guess it's just, it should like synchronize with the actual song that's playing right now. But that's kind of hard since it's kind of going on. It's already playing while I'm reading the text, so I can't really do that. Anyway. I can feel the joy emanating from Irie as she sings. Her face is lively and filled with energy, a stark contrast to her normally expressionless face. What a happy waifu. That we are totally complementary. Or something like that. The song completes its last beat and Irie, panting heavily, places the microphone back on the stand. She wipes the beads of sweat from her forehead. She then immediately regains her usual poker face, as if what had just happened was merely a dream, and approaches us, awaiting our judgment. How did I do? How did you do? That was the best singing by far. Her performance was probably on the same level as a professional singer. Well, your singing is wonderful. You should do an encore. Hell yeah, it was right good. I guess it was alright. I mean, at least it was better than Ryu's singing. He's starstruck. Oh, it's great, Irie. You have an amazing voice. I didn't know you liked those types of songs. She gave a slight nonchalant shrug at my words. I don't. They're too easy. Wow, she thought that song was too easy? I'm curious as to how she would have sounded if Masato had picked a more difficult song. Well, now it's my turn. Let's see what song you chose. In a similar fashion to the rest of the group, he hops onto the stage and looks down at the screen. Oh, you chose one of my favorites, Death by Devils. That doesn't sound too friendly. I picked it randomly. Not another random selection. I'm worried about this one. Okay guys, give me a sec to warm up. This song's a doozy. He clears out his throat multiple times before grabbing the microphone and starting the song. A blast of heavy metal bursts from the speakers. I cover my ears from the sudden spiked volume, and Yakio must have increased that volume. Yeah! Oh my, what is this? His scream almost knocks me backwards. The others are just as dumbstruck as I am. The dead of senses demons at me! I've got no choice but to fight for my house. I guess. When I think of heavy metal, I think of just growl singing. But I mean, I don't know. Not all heavy metal songs are stereotypically just growling, but you know, that's what you think of when you think of metal. I can barely hear the lyrics as he's shouting out. It's more like he's screaming in tune than actually singing. It's actually not bad, just strange. Come on, come on, come on, get it out, pound it out, bleh. He stomps on this, I don't know how to do growl singing or whatever. He stomps on the stage, hands sweeping up and down in an imaginary air guitar riff. Falling into darkness, the wrath of terrors pass, singing over my head and clawing at my lass. Very edgy. He powerfully leaps up, landing with a finishing resonant chord. I can feel my heartbeat slowly returning to normal. So, how was I? Honestly, it was a lot better than I was expecting. It was definitely different, but not in a bad way. I ain't ever heard someone sing like that before. Man, how do you scream like that for the whole song? Well, nothing to it. You just pick up the microphone and scream as loud as you can. And when you feel like your throat's about to fall off, you keep on screaming. Masato stares blankly at Yahiko, as though he just asked the dumbest question to the dumbest boy in the world, which he did. Well, I guess it's time for me to pick the winner. In my opinion, Irie won by a landslide. Now all I have to do is, Hold on a second. I forgot to mention that the winner has to sing a duet with Yama. Wait a minute. A great idea, Masato. Dang it, Ryui. She knows I don't like to sing in front of other people. She's just trying to rub it in. Maybe if I stall for some time. Come on, hurry up and pick someone. Now, if I can't escape this situation, then I'll just have to pick the least deadly poison. Yahiko will most likely pick another Screamo song. In that case, all I have to do is scream in tune for a couple of minutes. Or I can choose Irie. She sings so well that it would easily overshadow my horrible singing. The problem is, if I pick Irie, that would convey some weird messages. I try to send her a subtly apologetic look as I turn to Yahiko. Well, Yahiko, you ready to belt out another one? Of course I am! Excellent choice, my good minion. I'm clearly the best singer here. After Irie's performance, I'm not sure I can agree, but he's certainly not incompetent, that's for sure. Ryui and Masato, on the other hand, seem to disapprove of my decision. They're staring at me like I had just made a terrible mistake. Here's this really nice slow one called The Reign of 20 Years. I've done it earlier, but it's a duet. Wait, a slow song? Yeah, it's a slow, powerful ballad. Yeah, I actually prefer, if I had it, like, for me personally, if I had to choose like a music genre that I like, I like ballads, you know? Ballads and, well, anime songs, obviously. I'm looking forward to hearing this. Oh crap, if I'd known this would have happened, I would have picked Irie. I can't sing slow songs. Nevertheless, Yahiko starts the song, which is hailed in by an elegant piano intro. Ooh, I don't know. The campfires are glowing, the clouds brew in the sky. I set my pen to paper, thinking of you tonight. He nods at me eagerly. I feel sick. Don't you see that we be perfect, 'cause darling, you're divine. I can't continue. While Irie looks passive as ever, Ryui seems to even, dare I say it, enjoy my singing. Masato is doubled over in laughter. I quickly pop the microphone back onto its stand. Huh? What are you doing? I'm morally opposed to singing this song. Why? You're not that atrocious. Gee, thanks, Ryui. But we just reached the best part. And with one large breath, he bellows a vibrating warble. Okay. How would it go? It's like, the rain of 20 years falls to the earth in tears. Or something like that. We instinctively clap our hands over our ears. Note to self, screaming is not the same thing as singing. I guess he screams that, so let me go try again. The rain of 20 years falls to earth in tears, is what I imagine Yahiko would be saying. I stand on my hill, my arms extended. Make it stop. Somebody make it stop. Heck, even Irie's wincing in pain, and that's saying something. Oh, the mountains, they're singing their songs. Huh? Somebody yanks the cable on the karaoke machine and the music abruptly cuts off. I send my praises to the heavens. Hey! I was almost at the bridge. The cable dangles from Irie's fingers. It's getting late. Yahiko clearly deflates at his lost opportunity to belt, but I quickly grasp this chance to end our misery once and for all. Well, we better head out before we get into trouble. I hurriedly usher the group out of the room, and we return the key to the counter. Then again, despite all the terrible singing I've heard, the experience has been pretty fun. When we reconvene at the main street, everyone seems pleased, but worn out. Phew, that was an afternoon well spent. Now that's a good way to end the weekend. So, we heading back? Yep. Actually, I've got some errands to run around here. We'll join you. No, I'll be just fine. It's, for women's things. Yahiko instantly pales, but Masto only nods in understanding. I, on the other hand, raises a curious eyebrow at Ryui. She has never, ever used that kind of excuse in the 10 years I've known her. She notices my question and only shakes her head with an odd little smile. I'll see you guys later. She dodges into the nearest store, disappearing among the crowd. Well, it's almost my curfew. I'll head back with you, minion. What are you gonna do? Me? Actually, I don't have anything planned for the rest of the evening. Maybe I should visit Mr. Ryota's office and say hi. Well, I'll drop by the school. You got it. Goodbye. We part ways and take the subway back to the academy. As Masato and Yahiko enter their dorm, I head to Ryota's office. Mr. Ryota seems surprised at my unannounced drop-in, but not displeased. He ushers me into his office with a faint smile. Interesting. Didn't think I'd see you. Do you have an appointment soon? Who, me? Nah, I'm pretty much a free bird after I verify curfew. Why do you get paid again? Hey, you clearly don't know how difficult my job is. I have to sit here and wait for kids to scan themselves in the building and report the ones who don't buy curfew time. Doesn't necessarily set oneself up for popularity. No, I imagine it doesn't. So, looking into the disappearances, are you? I'm surprised at his acute observation, but I really shouldn't be. Mr. Ryota has proven that he's intelligent, even if his attitude needs a little work. I noticed that your detective was with you yesterday, you know, on the roof. Does that mean you're gonna stop me? If the school has something to hide, then Mr. Ryota will be the one tasked to stop me. Now why would I do that? What? Look, kid, there's a lot of security around the school. Lots of regulations, privacy contracts, anything you can think of and beyond. As faculty, I can't share any personal information on the students or I get in massive trouble. But there's some stuff that you really need to know. People's lives are on the line. Lives? Don't act dumb on me. You must figure it out by now that these are murders. I guess, yeah. I mean, that's what I was assuming this whole time. I had a hunch, but when he says it so flatly, I lose my breath. 3 students who had once lived normal lives full of homework and social drama and extracurricular activities were now gone. The reality of it seems very cold and bleak. So, what are you saying? Doesn't it really bother you, kid? Murders are happening, but no one's telling the public. They're just mysterious disappearances that are blamed on a bunch of trees. Well, it does suck, but the government has always hidden all kinds of things from the public. You're saying that you're okay with that. What if the next disappearance is me, or Masato, or Ryui? I can't answer that. Just this morning, I was stricken senseless at the mere thought that Ryu was the next disappearance. I'd even boarded the bus and gone all the way to the Isamu Forest. I completely lost all rational thought. Oh, you're right, but what are you trying to say? All I'm getting is that I need to know stuff that you can't tell me. I'm not allowed to tell you, but doesn't mean I can't. You get what I'm saying? It means that he wants to save people, but he could lose his livelihood. Sharing confidential information won't just result in a pink slip, he could be blacklisted from every future job. He's trusting all that on me. The world's most serious NDA. Will you sign it? I appear to have this trend of making dangerous agreements recently, so sure. Mr. Ryota's shoulders dropped just slightly, lax of attention that I hadn't sensed. Of course, all the burden is on him. If I break my promise, he'll be the one to pay, or if someone overhears, he'll be the one to pay. I better take him seriously. So, What do I need to know? There's a weird trend in the victims that I thought you should know. I'm guessing there's a reason why you're not informing the police? You got me. What exactly does that mean? The police is our best bet of catching this killer. What could I do compared to them? And what is this weird trend? Give me a moment. He reaches into his drawer for his faculty tablet, tapping rapidly on its surface. A moment of waiting passes before he graciously bangs it on the table. Gah, I hate computers. But we all be dead without them. He continues on, distant look in his eyes clearly shows that he's thinking of a fonder time. You know what was great? My desktop iPair. Man, that was the best. Stable, awesome, and a killer whirl of a fan. The guys don't know how satisfying is it to hear your computer work to keep itself cool. That's kinda weird. No casual user has desktops anymore. Oh, and icon phones. Man, phones these days break if you breathe on them wrong. Icon phones, they could probably survive a nuclear blast. Well, there we go. Finally working. I guess he's talking about like Android phones and the Mac, right? Mac computers and stuff. I guess, or I don't know, unless Icon is a spoof on some other brand of phones, I'm not sure. He punches rapidly at the tablet screen, then, apparently satisfied, settles back into his chair. What an old man. I mean, I guess, to be honest, I kind of relate to Mr. Yoda as well. I don't use a Mac, but I use Windows, obviously. And obviously I use a desktop. And I'm not all that familiar with tablets. At least until recently. Well, I mean, actually. Like, yeah, I haven't really touched a tablet for quite a while, ever since they were, I guess, invented, or made popular. Up until I learned about Fate Grand Order, and Bang Dream Girls Band Party, which are, you know, games on the tablet. And also on your phone, I guess. You know. That I play every day. Anyway, let me browse through for a quick refresher. As his eyes rove over the screen, his mouth settles into a thin, disturbed line. Alright, you know how the entry student application to the academy requires a psychological analysis by a qualified physician, yes? Yeah, another security measure, isn't it? Now, let me read this and see what you think. Midori Maino, the first disappearance. Chronic social anxiety, suspected autism. She was an artist, holed up a lot in her room, but she made the most beautiful paintings. Toma Hayashi, the second disappearance. Always out on the party scene, kind of a screwed up kid to be honest. He's always causing trouble to get some attention, had to slap him on the wrist a few times for vandalism. He was practically Michelangelo when it came to drawing the lower half of the male body. Oh thanks, I totally didn't need to know that. Akane Tsukino's the third victim. She's really a sad story, had a lot of potential. That name still sounds familiar. Yeah, we said that before, right? She was the vice president of the student council and the star of the badminton club. She just accepted a special internship at Lemnis Gate 2. That sounds like a lot for one person to handle. It was. Her family put a lot of expectations on her shoulders. She was their key to a better life, you know. A breeding ground for depression, if you ask me. A scholarship winner? And she had a boyfriend. How's that? Crazy. I pause at that. Something feels disrespectful about questioning the sanity of the dead. So those are the three victims. Seems like they had some concerning psychological problems. I mean, they're all perfectly acceptable levels of mental illness, but there's not a single average report. In fact, most of the conditions sounded pretty serious. Serious and confidential. I can see why Mr. Ryota was reluctant to tell me, but this pattern really could be the key to unlocking the mystery. Oh, thanks for telling me. I'm kinda curious, kid. Why you're taking this so well. I'm sorry? You just found out that 3 students at your school was murdered. That's pretty unsettling news. It is, really. Death, a permanent condition, something that students really shouldn't have to face. My reaction must have seemed odd. Should I be hyperventilating? On the contrary, this is pretty refreshing. But also concerning. I'll admit that. Well, I won't question it tonight. It's getting pretty late. You better get going. It's not safe for students to be out and about anymore. Well, thanks for the info, Mr. Ryota. More than that, I'm thankful that he was able to trust me. I guess we have an ally, Mr. Ryota? Well, that means 2 things. Either he's the killer, or he's gonna die soon. That tends to be the trope anyway. I leave the school after Mr. Ryota gets a campus security patrolman to escort me home. Seeing policemen inside campus unnerves most students, so they're mainly kept for border patrol, making sure that no one enters or leaves the school. I've barely seen them, to be honest. They probably don't act unless something suspicious crops up on the gate sensors. Oh, a phone call from Shigure? Hello? Where are you? Her voice is clipped, leaving no room for any extra conversation. Well, good evening to you too. Your services are required, now! I'm a little taken aback at the shortness of her tone. Seems like some urgent business. Okay, I'm in front of the school. Oh, oops. Accidentally scrolled the mouse wheel. Very well, I'm nearly there myself. Don't move. Sorry? Well, don't move, Yama. She's gonna be there. And I guess, yeah, the last time we saw Shigure, she was at the amusement park. Did she actually find something, or did she go somewhere else and found something? Well, that was expected, if I'm honest with myself. What kind of business could Shigure have at this time of the night? Ishiyama! She's right there. Shigure struts out of the shadows, her face completely expressionless. Did it occur to you that I might have things to do tonight? It did not. Come, this way. She turns on her heel and begins to strut down the sidewalk. We travel in complete silence. Definitely a first. I'm only able to bear it for around 10 minutes before things get too uncomfortable. You know, that awkward silence. You know, if you're mad at me, you might as well just say it. I should discuss these psychological problems with Shigure. No, what am I thinking? I should wonder if my sources are accurate. I'll either have to tell her my informants, or I'll have to drop the issue. And knowing Shigure, even if I don't give her the identity of my informant, she'll figure him out eventually. But I think you can trust Shigure. I mean, she herself does some suspicious things, you know? Such as giving... Although she herself also gave some confidential information to a bunch of students that she isn't supposed to give, right? So I think she would understand. You know, she would take Mr. Ryota's side. But, oh well, I guess, yeah, Yama's keeping it to himself. The information he got about the psychological problems. Shigure takes a turn into an area that I instantly recognize, for better or for worse. Oh no, it's the puzzle! The puzzle place! We're gonna have to do a bunch of puzzles again, oh no. Nothing is as welcoming as the smell of rotting litter, cigarettes, and traces of burning drugs. I cover my face with my sleeve in a vain attempt to block out the foul smell. Isn't this District 6? Don't tell me, you're giving me another test, aren't you? Or you're giving me another test, aren't you? No, no more riddles! Ah! A quiet Shigure is far more unnerving than an abusive one. I almost miss her cannon of verbal assault. We have arrived. She gestures to a large, beaten-down apartment complex before us. The dilapidated buildings and littered streets around us don't do wonders for this district's notoriety, that's for sure. Ooh, what are we here for? An inkling in the back of my mind whispers, "To kill you without anyone seeing," but I shove it into some crevice of my brain. Shigure withdraws a simple index card from her jacket pocket, showing it to me. This. There are only 3 numbers written on it. 338. What's that? An apartment number? She only nods. I follow her down the path between the apartments, surreptitiously glancing around for any signs of suspicious figures. This is definitely not my idea of a vacation spot, that's for sure. Finally, Shigure comes to a short stop in front of a door with number 338 emblazoned on it. She clears her throat for a second, takes a deep breath, and knocks lightly. Thrice. Give me a minute. A new person? The voice that comes from within the apartment is light, feminine, and nothing like what I was expecting. It's followed by sounds of scraping, shifting, and screeching, as if a number of heavy objects are being moved around the room. Come in. Shigure tries the doorknob and turns it with ease. She pushes open the door and I step inside, unsure what to expect. And the front room is neat, tidy, and utterly plain. The only messy feature is a few cushions, scattered idly about the floor, topped with several popular magazines. Okay, there's someone's place. A little mask here. Fan, sofa, clothes. Well, if it isn't the great detective herself. Oh, it's you! My attention turns to a large couch near the center of the room, upon which lounges a small framed girl. Her clothes are edgy but neat. Although her eyes are deep chocolate brown, they're some of the coldest I've ever seen. I swear that I've seen her before. Obviously, you can't mistake that smugness. What brings you to this side of town, Enemoto? Shigure sits on a nearby cushion stiffly. As always, I'm deficient of requisite intelligence. Oh yes, you're always lacking in intelligence. Shigure bristles. Of the informative sort. The girl only smirks and turns to me. The predatory glint in her eye snaps everything into place. Yep. Natsuki Tanaka. The interesting, unnerving friend of Elizabeth Oshiro. Yeah, Elizabeth. I was trying to remember her name before. Elizabeth, the cafe cashier. At least, well, when she's working. The way she sits, the clothes she wears, even the color of her eyes, they're drastically different from school. Are her eyes different, actually? I can't tell. I always thought it was the same, right? The same as her hair, but... Is it literally her color that changes, or is it just the way her expression is? I don't know. But I know with certainty that she's the same person. The angles to her expression, the tilt of her posture, is the exact same. No. How interesting. I thought that I have a swarm of questions, that I'd be shocked, but I'm not. Not really. I almost feel like a small part of me had been expecting something like this. Odd. Or something this odd. Especially from Natsuki. Is being a student just a cover, or you actually are one? To be or not to be? Surely, that is the question. Don't quote. Actually, I can't remember. What was it from? It's from Shakespeare, right? From what? Was it Macbeth? To be or not to be, or is it? I can't remember actually. To be or not to be? Is that Hamlet? Or is that even the correct quote anyway? I remember sometimes people misquote Shakespeare, and that a lot of the famous quotes tend to not actually be quotes, you know, or at least accurate to what Shakespeare has written. Anyway, Shigure clears her throat impatiently. As content as the two of you appear exchanging pleasantries, I am here regarding a matter of urgency, Natsuki. Natsuki raises a single eyebrow. You know my price? Ah, yes, how much yen shall... Don't feign ignorance, Enomoto. It doesn't suit you. Your almighty brain should be able to remember something as trivial as my currency. Shigure flushes at this. What? Certainly you didn't think I would forget something as important as that? Shigure mumbles something indiscernible while pulling her cap over her face. Maybe that's why she was so quiet. She wasn't angry at me, she was dreading coming here. What will you have me do? Natsuki catches my eye, a mischievous glimmer in her gaze. So our price isn't money, it's, I guess, a favor? Oh, what's your favorite animal, Ishimoto? And do choose something reasonable, not a duck-billed platypus, yes? What for? She only winks at me. I guess I have to give her an animal to find out. Huh? To be honest, you know, me personally, dog, cat, I'm not a dog nor cat person, right? I guess I'm not a pet person in general, at least the popular pets. You know, you always see people like posting like dog pictures and cat pictures and saying how cute it is, and I'm like, pretty neutral. I mean, I don't hate dogs or cats, but I'm like, they're animals that humans have had affection for many generations, but I'm not really all that, you know, infatuated with them. And of course chicken, I don't know, I mean, when you think chicken, you think of fried chicken. Though, incidentally, if I had to choose a pet, I would choose, or rather, well, not pet really, because when I think about it, well, again, if I had to choose a favorite animal, rather, it would be the raven, or well, either raven or crow, you know, from the same family anyway. Because well, the thing is, having a raven or a crow as a pet, or a bird in general as a pet, it's pretty, it's pretty high maintenance, to be honest, because they poop a lot. So, at least those kinds of birds, anyway, exotic birds and stuff. You can't really just keep them in a cage all day, right? They have to fly free and stuff. So you do have to let them out and fly about, but what happens is that they poo on you a lot, because the birds, they just poo everywhere. You know, you can't really potty train them, as far as I know anyway. So that's why I wouldn't want them to be as pets, but ravens and crows are my favorite animals. Just because they're very smart, right? Like, there have experiments done on crows and stuff, and they've proven to be smart as, or even smarter than, like, dolphins, you know? Right? So, that's why I like crows and ravens. But anyway, dog, cat, and chicken. I assume, you know, guessing from Natsuki's smug expression, she probably just wants Shigure to do something funny that amuses her. That's probably her price point. Though I don't know why she doesn't want money, right? She's living in quite a... not the most fancy place in the world, though this might actually just be her hideout and her real house is somewhere else, you know? She might actually be rich and not just actually be living in poverty in this little apartment. That would make sense for how smug she is and not actually wanting money. I'm gonna choose chicken. Well, yeah. Chicken, I guess. You always see fried chicken, right? She smirks at Shigure, who sends me a look of horror. Ishiyama, we will need another talk concerning your pay. Natsuki cheerily vanishes into an adjacent room. When she emerges after a few minutes, she's holding a full-size chicken costume. Oh. Put this on, Enomoto. Well, grumbling, Shigure yanks the costume over her clothes and zips it up. Wait, what? There. Satisfied? Oh, we don't get to see it drawn? I mean, come on, artist. She really did put it on. Give me a nice loud bok bok bok. Bok bok bok. Seeing Shigure so subdued is pretty unnerving. I can't believe that such a proud person would stoop so low. Is this a fetish for you, Natsuki? It's kinda kinky. Anyway, just what kind of person is this Natsuki? Now, Yama Ishimoto, a chicken is incapable of speaking English, so you'll have to be Shigure's mouthpiece. Before that, however, I believe we have some catching up to do. What are you, an ordinary ignorant civilian, doing caught up in a nasty business like student murders? I fight for what's right. No, I mean, I guess, yeah, Natsuki knows too. And I guess Shigure, by extension, has... excuse me. I guess... anyway, sorry. I guess by extension, Shigure also knows that these disappearances have involved murders as well. Fight for what's right? That doesn't seem right for Yama. I don't think Yama would be that blunt. He would probably just say that he works for Shigure. Well, I work for Shigure. Dear Animoto picked you to work for her? Oh, isn't that precious? Two useless fools bumbling around together. Oh, that's quite condescending. You sadistic smug waifu. I kinda like you. Anyway, a washed up, headstrong detective who is blinded at the first sign of murder, and an irresponsible, selfish teenager who takes nothing seriously. You know, you're quite the what's the word? The mastermind, you know, of this whole situation. Or you're just really smug. You know, that's the feeling I get. She's so much like, unless she's not like, I mean, I assume she's not. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Because I'm thinking like, she seems so much like a villain, but I feel like this is too early. Right? I don't think she's actually the killer or anything. But if she was a villain, she would fit that role quite perfectly. This Natsuki. Okay, I guess we have another choice. Isn't Shigure a professional detective? At least we're trying to help. I mean, yeah, isn't Shigure a professional detective? Yeah, isn't she like an actual detective? Natsuki's grin widens. No, please, that amateur. She shouldn't be sticking her nose in these sorts of things. Both of you should be leaving this to the professionals. With your level of incompetency, even a fountain of information would be of little use. But then what are you? What are you, Natsuki? Are you also a detective? Being undercover and stuff? Or are you something else? I don't know. How mysterious. Well, you can't exactly say that the police are doing a much better job. Please, the police are about as professional as taco-selling clowns. Are you not aware of the pathetic state of their CCTV coverage? Why, one can hardly see anything that happens around the city. I'm sure Animoto found this as an unpleasant surprise while she was investigating to this school. Really, the student's obsession for privacy is just adorable. Think how easy the killer could be caught with a few more camera installations. Shigure visibly grits her teeth at this, but to her credit, she says nothing. Man, Natsuki, just what are you?